Hi everyone, and welcome back to this final part of this video series where we were coloring a dark skin beauty. As you can see on the left side, I already did some pencil work on her clothing, and because I didn't want to make this video too long, I decided to leave only the right part, her left part, uncolored, so that you can see how I'm doing a bit of depth in clothing. Usually when I'm using markers, working with one darker shade of pencil on top and leave some highlights. So nothing more than that, just a little bit of coloring here and there and making sure that the base layer is still a little bit visible. The wings I've already colored in. It's just like I'm normally coloring on the beginning of her back, a bit harder pressure and then fading out. It is just with one color of purple. I want to thank everyone super much for answering my question about the length and the setup of my videos, if they were not too boring when I don't have something to talk about and a subject to talk about. And everyone was so positive, and everyone was saying that it was super nice, that it was in real time and it wasn't an issue at all if I was a bit more quiet here and there. So I'm very thankful for all the response and the feedback. I think it's important as a YouTuber to listen to your viewers, and it's a learning process, so it's always useful to hear the different opinions from people. So thank you very much to everyone who has responded. So in this video I will also be working with some paints, some glitter media. You know me, I can't leave my colorings without any glitter. And I will already mention that I will not be coloring in this bird on camera. I thought it was a nice little thing to leave uncolored, and so that if I'm doing my finished pages for April video, you will see how this little birdie has turned out. But that's the only thing that I will not color in. At the moment that I've filmed this, it's almost a week ago I think, I didn't even have a clue which colors I wanted to use on him, or her. She has long lashes, so it should be a her, I think. That's why I didn't color it in on camera. I thought that head was quite tricky to shade. I don't find some objects easy, but I tried my best. And here I'm working with a darker shade of a pink tone, or it could be a light purple tone, to make sure that the pencil work was visible above the quite flashy pink that she's wearing. And I'm also really grateful for the fact that some people told me that they were going to try the darker skin tone. So it's always fun for someone who shows their coloring, that people can learn and are less afraid to try things. So that's very nice. if it shows that I'm talking quite silently, it's because it's yet very early in the morning. I have some trouble sleeping the past few days. Yeah, I don't know why, because we have very busy months. We have had already some very busy months, and tonight I only slept about an hour or 5, and it started to taking its toll. Of course, it's not comparable to someone who suffers from a real insomnia problem, but I wish I could sleep again more than 5 hours and not interrupted at night either. Every night I wake up about 3 or 4 a.m. and it's really hard to find my sleep again after waking up. But I hope it will pass. So but my husband is still asleep right now. I'm in the living room. Of course, I'm not recording this next to him, but still I try to keep my voice a bit down. But I thought it was a nice moment for a voiceover because it's still quiet. And it's the Saturday before Easter. Here I'm using on the gloves the same color as I did on her head, so that darker shade of pink, or I don't even remember, and I don't write down my colors anymore. But if you do such shading, just make sure that your detail color, I will call it, is darker than the base that you have laid down. It's almost time to do that flame thing on her head. Here we are. I think it suits the background quite well. I'm really liking how she turned out. She really has some personality, I think. What was I doing now? Oh yes, I wanted to use a bronze color. It's not a shimmering one. It's quite a matte, or I don't know how it's called. But it's okay. And now I'm testing the gold and the bronze, just to decide that I wanted to go ahead with the bronze one. This was a pen that I bought in my discount shop. Well, at least not in my discount shop, but in a discount shop when we were visiting the Netherlands, where I did get the very cheap pencil sets that were just on the market. And these pens are quite good too. They are not shimmery, they're just matte opaque, but for the price that I've paid, the ink flows very well. And it's great if you want to lay some glitter accents in other or with other things in your picture. Not everything needs to be glittery, so this pen is quite good for some extra detail, but not too poppy, so that it doesn't distract the viewer from the glitter objects. And I thought it was quite suitable for this picture, a bronze color. And it doesn't bleed through, so I think they are water-based. At least I didn't see any bleed through. And what was I doing here? I think I wanted to show that it wasn't shimmery. And deciding if I was going to use the gold paint for the other details, but then I decided I wanted to use my Kuretake paints. I love working with paints in my books, shimmery or just watercolor. Like I've already said a few times, I could never have imagined working with paints in books. But I love it. It's fantastic. Yesterday I decided to swatch my Kuretake paints, not the shimmery ones, but a regular set of, I have the 24 set, I think, and also for my Sonnet paints and for the Paul Rubens. I did swatch them in my book, but I made a card for my Chinese watercolor set. I don't know if I think it was visible when we were coloring in or painting in her hair with that pink tone, and I'm just in love with that little watercolor card with the paints on top, and so I decided to do the same for my other watercolor paints. I don't think I will for the gold ones here, but for other colors it was quite a good idea. And it's so therapeutic to paint with such a fine brush and giving fine details more life. I really, that brush set is amazing. I bought that set on AliExpress. It was a pack of 5, I think, all the same size, and I'm still working with the first one. It doesn't get weird shapes. It stays in shape, so, and it's great for such fine lines. If I will move the picture, I don't know if I will soon, but the gold is really visible. It's a very nice detail. So, and that's why it's good that her bronze accents are not too special. Oh yes, and in the second video I was talking about that I had forgotten to do her sleeve and a part of her arm, and I thought I've filmed it, but as I already did her skin in part 1, I did color in her arm and that sleeve off camera. I thought I did it on camera, but I was mistaken. Look how fine I can make those lines with that brush. It's not super easy, but it does a great job. That brush is really amazing. And I'm out of frame and I wasn't realizing it. I don't know if I had such a lot of gold on the bottom. I don't think it was that much. The gold is not very visible yet, but it is quite shimmery. But it's more visible when you have a lamp on top. And after the drying of the paint, I grabbed my pencil case with all my glitter gel pens. It contains, no, not all my glitter gel pens, but the jelly rolls. I have a few. The Pentel Sparkle Pops and the Dual Hybrids are inside. And I grab at that pencil case very much. So here I'm using a Pentel Sparkle Pop in a silver color, also very shimmery. This part of the video is all about shimmer. Oh yes, and I did do the stars and the border with that bronze and gold yeah, pen, watercolor paint pen, I think it is. So also that gold is muted or is not shimmery. So the details, the only shimmery details are on the girl and now on the little birdie. And that's what I was after. I think now I was deciding, yes, I was looking for a particular pencil. I can't read what color it is anymore. I think an orange combined with a yellow. This is a dual hybrid pen. This was gifted a while ago and by a lovely viewer. And I use it very, very much, those pens. I really love the fact of that, how it depends on how you are holding your picture, that you see orange or that you see a gold color. So it's really nice. It's really nice to use those. It gives a little magic on your picture. And now searching for another color. This is the black and red, I think. Again, a dual hybrid. So it depends on how you look at it, that it's black or a very muted red. Beautiful, a kind of a, how do you call it? It's in Bordeaux in Dutch, but I don't know how it's called in. I think it's can be compared to Tuscan red from the Prismacolor, so quite a dark red tone. And this ink flows so smoothly on the paper. These pens are really smooth. And they dry quite quick. And now looking for another color, I think. Yes, this is a jelly roll, a green one. Jelly roll is also very good. But I think the jelly rolls are Japanese, but I think Pentel is too, if I'm not mistaken. And I love Japanese products. I drive in a Japanese car. My husband also. We want to go visit Japan sooner or later. My husband already went there more than 10 years ago when his best friend was working there for over a year. He went to visit him, and stayed about a week or 3 or 4, I think. And he was blown away by the country, and yeah, I want to go and visit it too. And I've heard that in a certain area there's quite a large art shop, and also a lovely lady from Instagram called Richie said that the shop was awesome. So I'm really going to visit that one. My husband already knows. And if it was possible, if it is possible, if we ever go there, then I'm hoping I'm in the ability to buy the Holbein pencils over there. What am I doing now? Oh yes, okay. For her wings, I like the simplicity of them, but here on my palette I've put down some iridescent medium. It's not, you can't read the sticker on the bottle, but it's just iridescent medium from Winsor & Newton. And without watering it down, I'm just laying down a layer of this medium on her wings to make them shimmer a lot too. I could have used my Spectrum Noir Clear Glitter Gel pen, but I thought it was nice to paint straight from the bottle. And so her wings stay quite neutral, but depending on the light, it will be very shimmery. And I'm using that same brush from earlier, so I can also use it on some larger spaces. When talking about Japan again, I'm super excited if we ever go there to try out some sushi. Of course, I've already eaten sushi, but I think it will be a whole different experience in Japan itself than it will be over here. So really looking forward to that too. The only thing that scares me are the earthquakes. And the long flight. I think it will be about 13 hours or something to get there. And I'm always afraid of long flights, not for that a disaster will happen, but I'm scared that I will get bored if I can't sleep or something. And I'm a bit afraid I also have a good nose, and I smell people quite easily. And a few years ago we were going on a trip, and there was a guy in front of us, and his jacket, it needed a wash so badly. I think he was clean, but it was a jeans jacket, and that smell, it was awful. So I was really hoping that he wouldn't be sitting near us on that flight. So that's also something I am worrying about when being in a room with other people. So now it's tickle time. No picture without stickles. Just some stickly buttons. didn't use too much, only on her ribbon in her hair and on the buttons, I think. Oh yes, here I had some trouble getting the glue out, so I'm using a paper clip to free the nib. I think it's called a nib. It works quite okay. I don't have a needle near, so a paper clip is it's a bit too thick, but it's doing its job. Oh yes, and then I had to do that diamond that she's holding. And I think I've used diamond stickles. Just no base color on that diamond, just stickles on top, and that's it. And then I think it's almost the last few seconds of this video, if I'm not mistaken. I think I called her done after doing the diamond. And then I decided that I didn't have any glue for that bird. And I was just correcting or doing some extra iridescent medium on that wing. So you will all see that bird on my finished pages video. The main figure is colored in, and I hope you really enjoyed it. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we see each other soon for another video. Bye.